what I've got over here.
Well, welcome in, everybody. I know it's been a minute since I've done a paint video, and I do apologize. We're going to try and get back on track with that. Just been really busy trying to get some inventory built up. Yeah, we've got quite a bit built up now. But today I have this blank from Lure Build. It's a new one he's got. It's a circuit board coffin bill 1.5. So we're going to paint it up and see if we can, give it some life, and that way I can test it out later on and see how it works. So stay tuned.
I've been walking through the ashes of the man I used to be. Got dust on all my memories that don't mean much to me. There's a storm behind my shoulders and a fire in my chest.
Alright, well, we got it primed up and ready to go. I think today we're going to do a little bit different bluegill than what I normally would do. So this is going to be kind of a build as we go thing, because I haven't tried this pattern, so it's going to be very fun, very interesting, I think. Alright, so we got primer on. We're going to put some white pearl down, so that way the belly has a little bit of a sparkle. And then we'll start building from there. So let me get my pearl loaded up. Now you don't have to use pearl. You can use straight white if you wanted to. That's strictly up to you. I just prefer to use pearl. It's kind of my style. So you don't have to use pearl. I just like to. I think especially on a bluegill, that little bit of a shimmer that you'll get afterwards is well worth the effort. Now, even though this is going to be a bluegill, it's not going to be a traditional bluegill, or I think y'all see me do one I call the battle gill. It's not going to be that. This is going to be, I'm going to try and get a little bit darker on, or a little bit darker, a little bit on the darker side than what I normally do. A little bit more, what I call an earthy color. Get my airbrush cleaned out here. And so I have not tried this yet, so y'all are going to get to see what I create. I'm going to get to see what I create. Now, in order to help with the little bit darker color scheme, I am on the top portion of the lure going to come in with a light gray. And get it mixed up here. Get it all good and mixy. I do apologize for being gone for so long. I've just been trying to, I ain't gonna lie, I've been trying to get some standard colors kind of built and wrote down. That way it's not constant one-offs. I just feel I needed to have some patterns that were my own that I keep around at all times. Been dealing with a few things around here, and honestly just didn't know what to paint for you guys. I don't know what y'all want to see. We are going to make this gray a little transparent. I don't have necessarily a transparent gray. I really don't have any transparent colors. But the way you can make a color transparent, and I don't show all this on camera because it's kind of boring, it's no different than explaining it, is go ahead and get your paint all reduced and everything. But go ahead and add a little bit of either a transparent base, like that by Createx you got that transparent, I think it's 4004, or some UVLS, and that will help make it transparent and a little easier to use for shading. Looked over the camera in a long time to paint. This is definitely different again. But if you've never used transparent paints, I recommend it. They're very handy, they're very useful. When I say you don't have to go out and buy transparent paints. If you have some UVLS or a transparent base of some kind, then you can get your own transparent colors. Get a little bit darker on the top. Top of this one to be good and dark. So see, we have our pearl belly. I know my lighting ain't that great right now. I do apologize. Let me see if I can get that. So you get your pearl belly, and you come into your gray sides. And we got a little darker gray on top. And you still see a little bit of that pearl still coming through. Focus. My camera's being silly today. So let me dump that paint back in and we'll get rolling to the next color. For those that don't know, and if anyone's new with airbrushing, and the darkness of the base, it sets the tone for all the colors that go on top of it. So if I kept this thing just bright white, all my colors would have a brighter tone. Going gray or a dark gray or even blacks will help. If you're trying to do a darker pattern, will definitely help that happen. Now, I don't recommend black a lot unless you're doing like metallics and stuff like that. Black in general is kind of hard to build on top of unless you have some really opaque paint. Gray is a really good one for setting a neutral tone and help give it some darkness as well, but not so dark that everything just seems like you're showing it at night. Just a little tip there that sometimes instead of using white, use gray. And experiment. Now, there's some colors that pink does really good underneath, believe it or not. I think what we're going to do, probably a non-traditional bluegill instead of doing blue. When we come to it, I think we might actually do a white tinted blue along here, kind of like an old washed out gill. So I need to think about what we're going to do the base in. Let's get a dirty yellow in there. We need a dirty yellow. I'm looking, I promise. Trying to find something that's not going to be super strong. Alright, let's try that. So I'm coming in next. It's hopefully going to be a dirty yellow. And I do mainly paint with solvent-based paints and alcohol inks, so they're a little easier to get that transparency. But you can do the same thing with water-based paint. That's why I go to UVOS. But that's why I'm not telling you the names of the colors, because they're not going to be what most people will have. But we're looking for a dirty yellow, and we're getting it. So now we'll run that color out, and we'll go ahead and put the barring in. So let me get my stencil. Because I do use the bluegill stencil. I believe it's Insane Customs, if anyone's looking for it. I believe this who's the one that carries this or makes it. The particular one I use. It's the SBS 2. Get that to where you can see it. There we go. But this works really good. You see, I use it a lot. We're not going to use the traditional color that I would normally use. I think we're going to come in with a brown for the bars this time, which is not something I normally do, but this is not going to be, again, a normal bluegill. This is going to be darker. Just very, I don't even know how to put what I'm getting at. Hopefully y'all are understanding. So let's get this one made up. We want it slightly transparent. And the one thing neat about, I guess the key point in this video about making your own transparent is you can control if you want it to be semi-transparent, full transparent, just a little bit lighter. Camera focus. My camera is not focusing today. But you can control just how transparent the paint gets. I suggest to everybody to learn how to mix your paints and develop colors, and learn how to develop the transparencies of them. Now, hopefully this works. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Might be a little too transparent. I'm not perfect, that's for sure. But I think that'll work. They're not bold. Kind of laid on double to kind of give them a little bit of a, I don't know, it's just kind of a ghosty effect. sometimes not having it very bold, just having it kind of light. I don't know if this is going to turn out looking good or not, guys. My camera is definitely not liking me today, though. I can tell you that. I don't know why it's not wanting to focus today. Alright, now, while we still got a little bit of brown, we're going to add, or try and add a little green to the brown, and see if we can get that really neat little forest color. And we'll bring that up on top. Mixed up. So I might have too much brown in there still yet. We'll find out. Next, I need to add just a little bit more brown. That's good though. I'm fine with adding a little bit extra. And this is what I'm saying, develop your own color. I do have other dark greens and stuff like that. I'm wanting this one to be a unique color. Clean my airbrush out and we'll come. Alright, we're back. We're going to try a different camera angle. So, here's what we got so far. Now, I know it looks kind of drab and plain Jane and stuff right now. But it will come together. Because right now all we're doing is we're getting our bases down. So we've got our, our neutral colors down to help build everything on. We've got these greens and stuff going on here. Now we can start throwing some details into it as far as bringing some life into it. Now, like I said, we're going to do kind of a washed out blue in the gill spot here. Nothing bold. Or at least I'm going to try and keep it from being too bold. Let's go with this one. This don't feel like it's spraying right. Check it on something here. Okay. It will, we're just going to have to be careful with it. These inks, a lot of times you just gotta barely use any trigger at all. Might go back to the other view, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to go back to the other view. Hold on, guys. All right, we're set back up. Now you can see what I'm talking about. That's just a really washed out, lighter color blue. You can tell it's been a minute. I'm having to figure out exactly how I had everything set up before. So now we're going to try and start getting some more pearl essences up in there. Get that top to shine a little bit more. Because that top is one thing with using opaque colors. You will have to kind of bring some of that life back to it. It can be done though. It is not a problem. I have an olive pearl. Actually, I'm going to use a different olive pearl. It's an olive yellow pearl. I think that'll be just the right color to bring some of that shimmer back to the top, and then we can start bringing some of the darker colors back into it. But yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, homemade mix. even though that was a bright pearl color, because the base was dark, it helped keep everything darkened down while still shining up. So now we got that nice little shimmer that we all know fish like to see. At least I believe they do. Now we're going to come in with some darker, I guess you'd say like butterscotch colors. You know, your yellow browns and stuff like that to kind of bring in that darkness that I'm looking for. And we're not going to do like full coverage. We're going to do bits here, bits there, bits everywhere, E-I-E-I-O. Y'all know me, I'm a goofball. Alright. And all I'm doing is I'm not actually spraying. I'm just kind of rocking the trigger back and forth, getting spots of color here and there. Because I don't want a nice even coverage. If that makes any sense. I want that spottiness. Yeah, I want that spotty, that blotchiness, because it just helps add to the tones and everything. I'll go in with another variation of that color. We'll do the same thing, but kind of in between where we did everything before. Kind of allowing it to fill it in, and having two different colors that help make a very interesting colorway. I don't know if y'all can see it in the camera very good or not, but having them two different light colors. And what it was a butterscotch kind of color and a caramel type color. As far as what they actually are, I couldn't tell you. They're variations of browns. But like I said, you could use whatever colors you think you have that's close. And I do. I just use that splotchy kind of spraying you just seen. It's real handy to use two different shades because it gives it that liveness. Because nothing in life is 100% the same. So having one say like a light brown, a light transparent brown, and then adding a little bit of maybe like a gray or something to it. Just have them two different tones of that same color. You can see the splotchiness, but that's what I want. Alright, now we're going to bring in some darker greens now that we got browns. So let's do like a forest green. It'll help bring that darkness on the top that we're looking for. Or should. If not, it'll help us build to it. Running over the lure real lightly. I'm not pulling back a whole lot. You see the difference. So be honest, at what point did you think this was going to look like trash? You did not think it was going to come out like this when you first saw the base colors, did you? And now we still got to do the chin. Not turning out too bad for what I'm going for. I said I'm going for the darker neutral bluegill colors. The colors that you don't see a lot. And I do apologize sincerely about the time frame it's been since I painted something for y'all, and the the issues we've been having with the camera. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this thing over so we get access to that belly a little bit better. Well, look at that pearl. I mean, that right there already looks really good. Good neutral colors. When I do the belly, I get it all set up where I can spray at it and be good with it. I'm going to do kind of copper colors. It's not necessarily going to be copper. It's going to be like oranges and browns, bringing that dirty brown look. Because I don't want that metallic. I want this one being pearlescent, not metallic. So I think first, see what this looks like. That might work. I got a color I mixed up over here called Tangelo. It's just a shade of orange. And I think it's going to work really good for this. Because it's already oh, I don't even know how to put it. It's already dark. Apparently I still have a little bit of green left in the airbrush. Hopefully that didn't mess it up too much. Actually, that might be very... Let's try a small spot. Oh yeah, I like that. Happy accident. And again, I'm not doing full trigger. I am rocking the trigger back and forth. Kind of lightly shading a few spots here and there. Just trying to give his belly a little bit of life. That's the way, I like it. Okay, we'll get that color ran out. Okay, so give me a second, guys. It's going to take a second to get this color cleaned out of the airbrush. Around here, we got the bluegill that are a little bit more bright and vibrant. So again, that's why I haven't painted this style very often. I know other people have done these more neutral, earthy tones. I personally haven't. I've not done very many of them. I think maybe a total of 10 in my entire time I've been painting. Most of them are usually more vibrant. It works around here. The battle gill has been proven to work a lot of different places. Show y'all what we got here. Alright, now we are going to darken the top up just a little bit more. I think we're going to do that with a little bit of black candy though. Actually, yeah, just a little bit of black candy, not a lot. We don't want it to be full black. And if y'all have candy paints but you don't have a black candy, you need to find it. Createx makes one in the Candy 2.0, and most every other company that has a candy, they have a black candy of types. If you're looking to shade and darken a color just ever so lightly, that black candy is the bee's knees, man. It works really well for it. Now let's hit that with a little bit of intercoat and see what she's going to look. Get a rough idea of what she's going to look like when she gets clear coated. With intercoat, it's the same thing as UVLS. So you could do this with UVLS. There's roughly what it's going to look like with clear coat. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Trying to get that belly to show up for you. There it goes. But that's what we got. There is our natural earth tone bluegill. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. It definitely was I ain't gonna say a struggle. It's definitely different getting back behind the camera and getting back into the swing of it. I need to start doing stuff more often for y'all. I do have a bunch of color patterns that I've come up with for, I guess say my standard list of patterns that I will always have around, that I like, that have proven themselves, that I think are good colors. And I think every painter does that. We all kind of get our own little arsenal built up. and it helps give us our selection. You know, this is our version of this, of like a alewife, or our version of a threadfin, our version of a bluegill, and that keeps us all individual that way. I don't know if I've helped y'all with anything today. I hope I have in one way or another. If nothing else, getting y'all to think outside of the box on your colors. Doesn't all have to be nice and bright. Even though this is earth tone colors, it still has a shine to it, still has sparkle to it, but it's still dulled down. So if y'all did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you would. Definitely, definitely, if you have any questions or if you have anything to say, get down in that comment section. Let me know what y'all thought. Let me know what you want to see. If you need help with something, let me know. I will try my best to do videos to help you as well. But I do appreciate y'all. Hopefully we can keep going, and I can keep getting some more videos out, because I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Without y'all, I can't do this. It'd just be me loading up videos for no reason. So I do love y'all. Hope y'all get to go out and do some fishing, tight lines, and we will catch y'all later.
When the walls give in and the roof starts to crack, I don't look for an exit, I just ride in my stance. It's a home gang spirit, one square in the dirt. If the truth is a blade, let me